Hello, I'm Milena Pappas. I am from Athens, Greece, and I'm the founder of PremiuMares. PremiuMares is a breeding company aiming to find quality brood mares, either proven in the sport or proven in their breeding abilities, and combine them with proved sires in the world, and hopefully end up with a product, with a foal that will be winning in its own capacity, in the sense that for every level, for every rider, it will be a winning foal, a winning horse, and someone will enjoy it eventually in the sport and will love it as much as we love it. PremiuMares was bred out of passion, love, and just horses. So ever since I was young, I always loved animals, and being a fan of Chuck Norris, it inspired me to start asking my father to take me to horse riding lessons. So I think the first time that I got onto a horse, it was a majestic feeling. It was a feeling of connection immediately. A horse is different to a dog or a cat. A horse is your partner, and when you gallop and you feel free, or when you have a competition, it's your partner. Again, a horse cannot live on its own. A cat can. You can leave a dog with someone else, but a horse is a special thing. The more you take care of it, the more it gives you back. The more you share moments with a horse, the more you form a bond and a special connection. You need to spend time with a horse. It needs to get to know you. It needs to accept you. You need to accept it. It has to be a mutually accepted partnership in order for it to work. So I think that having that kind of partnership is something that's very inspirational. It's very unique in itself. And I'm not sure that, to my knowledge at least, there is another animal, or maybe there's a partnership in other team sports. But again, a horse is something unique, and it gives you something, you give it, and you become complementary to each other. So correctly, the bond between a horse and a rider is unique. It doesn't matter how many horses have gone through your life or how many moments have gone by. Each horse and each bond is it's a unique friendship, it's a unique partnership, it's a unique athletic relationship. So the only one who has gone through the same moment as you is your horse at that moment. And that is something that no other sport, no other relationship, not even a romantic relationship, has that experience. You make a mistake, for example, in a competition, your horse helps you out. Your horse gets scared or gets confused, you are there to help him out. And you guys share that bonding and that experience and that moment that will remain in your minds forever. So I think that again is something completely unique. How have horses changed my life? Horses change everybody's lives. When you have a bad day, I want to go to the stables. I want to take my horse for a walk in the forest. I want to take my horse to the beach, for example. It's that moment that you have between you and the horse, that there's motion. If you're galloping away, you have the wind in your hair. You have that moment of freedom where it's just you and the horse. It's a moment, even if you're practicing, even if you're training, it doesn't matter where you are, what you do, you're with your horse. And even for a minute, if you forget yourself, let's not forget that horses are living souls, they're organisms, they're affected by their surroundings. So you forget yourself, you might end up on the floor. So you have to be in that moment. And in that moment means accidentally, but so beautifully, being able to meditate. So I think that when you want to escape from your thoughts, when you want to escape from your work, when you want to escape from everything that goes on in real life or in your current day-to-day life, you take a moment, you take an hour or more or less, whatever you need, and you get on your horse and you're completely focused on it and it on you. And you have a bond, you have a communication that only your horse and you know. And I think that is kind of escape from reality. And it's a moment that you take for yourself. Being in the equestrian world has a lot of obstacles, specifically for me, and I will answer from my point of view, because I think it's a little bit unique in the sense that I am from Greece, from Athens. Athens may be in the European Union and maybe in Europe, nevertheless, it's Eastern Europe and it's completely isolated. So for me to be competitive or to want to continue to compete in competitions while balancing also my work life, because I work in a shipping company and that's a completely different world, means that I need to send my horses from Greece to Italy, and from there on, wherever in the world, or rather in Europe, I would like to compete in. So that means that my horses, from the first stop to their first arrival point, it's around 36 to 40 consecutive hours. They need to take the boat and they need to arrive there. So that means that you need to find horses that can travel well, that can endure this quite long journey. And you need to find competitions that are at least 3 consecutive or 4 consecutive. Furthermore, you need to find the groom that works well with them. You need to find someone that can also ride them, because I cannot be there during the week. I need to travel back and forth. So these are obstacles that you need to overcome. Another very serious obstacle to become an equestrian competitor in Greece is the fact that Greece doesn't have enough rich soil. So we need to import everything. We need to import vitamins. We have 4 seasons, which means that the horses need to go through a very long and dry summer. They need to be able to withstand 4 different seasons and weathers. One more thing that Greece, for example, has is that we don't have enough flat land. So the horses don't have enough space to run and feel like the free animal that they are. We have limited space. We, at times, because like I said, it's a very dry summer, you need to bring a lot of water. So all of these things are obstacles. But I am a firm believer that when there's a will, there's a way. And when you have good friends, you find good partners, you have horses that can undergo the different seasons, because it's also a matter of finding the right horse, finding a little bit, for example, for me, I prefer a horse that has a little bit more blood, that has a little bit more energy, because when the summer comes, they will go a little bit lower. It's a little bit tiring, even for me that I am from Greece. So I think it's a balance of things, and overcoming them means researching a little bit more, having a little bit more will, and just making the time and being organized, fixing a schedule, and things will fall into place. My God, there are so many. It depends what point of view you take. Let me start from the breeding part, which is one of the things that I am very involved with, especially because, like I said, Greece is very remote, and breeding is one of the ways that you can keep in touch with a sport that is so amazing by breeding. For example, we have horses in Italy and Holland where the climate is more favorable for the horses. The clinics are more evolved. So breeding is a way to keep in touch with the sport. When you see a foal being born, and when you see its progress and as it grows into this world, then someone either buys that horse or matches with that horse and succeeds and does well and loves that horse that you bred, or if that horse eventually succeeds and lives up to the classes and does incredibly, these are rewards that truly make your heart really feel warm. Other rewarding, from a sports point of view, from an athlete point of view, when you do well and you know that you've trained for so many hours and you've given your horse everything, your horse has given you everything, and you see that partnership finally come to fruition, and you're at the show and suddenly you do well. It doesn't matter if you're first, it doesn't matter if you have a fence down, but if you ride well and if there's a good communication between the two, the horse and the rider, and you come out feeling that, you know what we worked at home looked effortless, I enjoyed it actually. Doesn't matter how it looked so much as how you felt, and you both felt you had a good time and all your hard work paid off. I think that these are 2 of the most rewarding parts, from the breeding perspective, to see your foal grow into its best self, into the best potential that it could have, and of course someone loves it and nurtures it as much as you love it. And from an athletic point of view, achieving the best that you and your horse together can achieve, both from the athletic part and from the satisfaction that, there's a bond between us, and we prove it every competition, every day. As hardships come, and I mean, life is like a pulse, it goes up and down. But if the highs are more than the lows, and there's more smiles than, those difficult moments, that's what we can all hope for.